Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to do the energy update for that last week of November. And as we're moving through this last week, I tell you, it feels like it has been a very long month. Feels like things have really, truly, we've lived a lifetime in a month. That's what it feels like. I don't know where we've been kind of traveling, but there's definitely has been a lot of energy. There's a cat climbing up my back. um, and so I'm not in my normal space tonight. I'm actually recording this. I'm actually in my living room, sitting at my office desk downstairs, and I just felt the need to come in and get this message out. So, what do we have happening? Where are we? We are transitioning into a very kind of different kind of month that's coming up. December will be a very different. Now we have some really odd retrograde energy that is starting to move in. So it's like a weather pattern. It's just like cold is beginning to move in. So it has a real crisp bluish, like grayish bluish undertone as I'm actually seeing this energy for this week. And it does come with this retrograde energy and what we have retrograding this week. Now, often these retrogrades feel like life is about slowing down, it's about rest. This one is about stop and think. It's like stop, drop, and roll type of thing. Do you remember those ads way back? I'm aging myself here, but way back when I was a kid, or when I was not a kid, when I was young, I guess, is they had these advertisements and it was about fire and it was about stop, drop, and roll, stop, drop, and roll. That was and we were taught that stop fire, stop, drop, and roll. And and so this retrograde is stop, pause, think, right? Really, truly think about what you are about to do, what you're about to say, what you're about to commit to, overcommit to, what you're about to kind of reject in your life. So this could really, truly be a very, this could be one of those weeks that begins something for you or ends something for you or just totally changes life. Like life can really, truly change in so many ways. My cat is now stuck in a bag on the floor. But there is a curiosity to this one as well as we look at this energy. First, she's climbed my back, and now she's in this bag on the floor that I have Christmas ribbon stuff in, and she's trying to get in the bag but can't get in the bag. It's kind of all right. And so this is also the week of where you may find yourself trying to fit into a life or fit into the shoes, fit into a space, fit into a place where you literally don't fit. You don't belong. And so this is trying to make things make sense. And all of this energy this week, it does have that energy of feeling like, does this really make sense? This doesn't make sense. So it could really see people acting a certain way, behaving a certain way that just don't make sense. You may find yourself doing that as well. Things are not going to fit. This is this week's energy, and moving into that first week of December, nothing fits. Nothing fits, nothing makes sense. And so you may find yourself being irritated. You may find yourself being uncomfortable with it. And really questioning things like, why isn't things working out? Why isn't things going as planned? Why isn't that working for me? Or why are they acting that way? Why are they not so agreeable? Or why is things being affected this way? And it is because of this energy. So we have a real gray zone. It's gray. It doesn't have it is not a guarantee of something. It is not a good, bad. It's not like it's a discernment between good and bad, right and wrong out there in the energy. It's just simply energy. It's what we do with the energy that affects and influences us. And so this week, that what we do with this energy and how we use this energy will be us making right choices, not such right choices, or I don't want to say wrong choices, but making choices that do not align, about trying to fit into places and boxes where you don't belong. You may find yourself trying to be a part of a group. You may find yourself buying stuff. You go, like being invited to a party, like one of those home parties, right? Being invited to a home party and just feeling that obligation to be a part of it and to purchase and buy, but it's nothing of what you want. You don't want it, it doesn't align to you, but yet you feel obligated to be there. You feel like you need to be a part of it. And then you're like, well, now I have to buy something. Now that I'm here, I have to buy something. But there was something you wanted of the experience. And it probably was to be with people. It might be of just being around other people. It might be of meeting up with friends you haven't seen in a while. So the intention is good, the thought is good, and even the things there are even good. But do I really belong? And is this really what I want? So, that's using something very metaphoric for this week, but put that in perspective into your life, right? You may find yourself being impulsive at the store. You may find yourself being impulsive in choices and decisions in what you're going to eat. You may find that little rebel coming back. You may notice areas in your life where it's like, why did I just say that? Why did I just do that? Why did I just buy that? So be aware of those moments and those experiences this week as we go into this very last week of November. Now, I do have this kind of, I kind of pause, and I feel like it's like an opening a door. So I feel like, I see opening a door, and I just feel like there's a door opening, and it's almost like a portal door, and it's looking into somewhere. We're looking into somewhere. Where are we looking? So there may be a door or an opportunity that opens up this week for something you either been waiting for, something you've been hoping for. Make sure that it is the right door, and it's like a dangling carrot, right? Make sure it's not just the thing that that you think is right because it's finally there, but something doesn't make sense. Something doesn't fit, and something doesn't make sense. So it could be your intuition. It could be going against your own intuitions, like this is not fitting. This is not work. I know the door is there. I know the opportunity is there, but something doesn't feel right. And so it may be needing a deeper clarification, a deeper conversation. You may need to, communicate a little differently. You may need to know all of the ups and downs. So if it's a new job, if it's the opportunity for a contract or a new job this week, and it's like, I've been waiting for this to come, but something doesn't feel right. Like the message you're receiving, when you look in at it, when you see it, make sure you clarify things before you sign your name on anything. Make sure you look at everything, you read everything, you're clear, right? That when you do make a decision, it's actually the right decision and it feels right, because there has to be some level of excitement, enthusiasm, also with a little bit of feeling afraid. Now, fear, false evidence appearing real, is very different than our natural instinctual self of feeling a little bit afraid of something new, of taking on something new. And that's really through this door. Like there's doors opening for some of you. So it could be, finally moving in with somebody. You could be finally, sealing the deal on a mortgage, or on selling a house, or renting together as partners. Whatever that may be, like wherever that is, if you have that nagging gut feeling that something is not right, or not everything is aligned, but you're just going to say, oh well, that's just okay. That's a misprint in a contract, or that line really doesn't mean anything. Yeah, those lines mean something. And yes, those lines do. And so I just heard making the deal, don't make the deal with the devil that you can't get out of. right? Don't do something that you cannot back out of so easily, right? And making sure that you're doing something that feels as if everything feels right if you're going to do it. That's what they got. Now, the other thing that came up, and it was while I was standing in my kitchen, and that's what really that's what really pushed me to sit right here and start to record this. And it was about, this is about December and about moving into December, which I know that's where we're heading. And I do feel like I'm getting this already, and I will record the December monthly message as well. I don't even know if I combed my hair today, but, but I just have this, like something unexpected is happening. Something is coming. But it was, how did I put it? You know that song, Highway to Hell? AC/DC? That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing. And it just feels like things that were happening in December okay, tradition, right? It's that sense and desire to go, like, kind of put things back to the way things used to be. Put things back to the way things used to be. It's like, oh, so we just have this desire to bring life back to the way it used to be because it's comfortable, because we're in that last quarter mile of a 360 journey. And the traveling 360, and when we do all the hard work and we get so far and it feels like it's gotten too challenging, too hard, and we want to quit. We want to back down. Well, we're in that last quarter mile. We're in that place of where it would be so easy to just go back. And how many times to say, if only things were like they were, if only things could be like they were. Well, if everything was exactly like it once was, then we are not progressing. We are not moving forward in our lives. And so when we want something back, when we want things to be the way they once were, we also have to be willing to see all the things that were not working. And there is this push and pull to get back to either tradition, get back to how we did things in systems. So the desire to, bring back in that living in that system, creating that system. We're only good enough if we're this. So there's a meter that has judgment and criticism and competition and getting back to some sort of way that really wasn't working in the beginning. So it wasn't working. And there's a lot of areas in our life that as much as it'd be easy for us to just slip back into old patterns and old ways because it's comfortable. It's known. It is known, right? We know that. And because we know that, we know how to behave in that. We know what to do in that. But because we're at a massive transitioning period in our evolution and in our growth, in our lives, depending on what level you're at, this could be the beginning, something small, or this could be something big, right? And that moment that we're in, that experience that we're in, is trying to give us it's like the imitation, the falseness is trying to give us a cup of hot chocolate with marshmallows on top and a big fire that's burning and says, come sit over here, you're going to be warm. And it's kind of bringing back memories. And you just sit by that fire and you're like, oh, this is so good. And you remember the hot chocolate and it tastes so good. And so there's a temptation that is to it because it feels familiar. It feels known. And when we're in that state, it's so easy, yes, to be agreeable, to agree to returning to something that was old, something from the past or something that was old, that was familiar. And it's like a trickster energy. And it's trying to bring us backwards and not forward. And we're here to keep going forward and to keep moving forward, not going back. And I noticed this in my own life, and I seen little things that I find myself going back to doing that I once did, and I'm like, yeah, that was comfortable. That's easy. That's easy. It's easy to do that. But it will also mean that everything I've worked so hard for, everything that I've put my blood, sweat, and tears and healing into, and my growth and my being committed and faithful to, means all of that will suffer. So all of the work to move forward will suffer at the cost of sitting by the warm fire with the hot chocolate. And so when I felt that energy, I'm just like, well, I'm freaking allergic to hot chocolate, and it makes me sick every time I eat it, drink it. And in the moment, it might taste good, and everyone else might have that hot chocolate, and everyone else might be enjoying it, and everyone else might be happy by that fire. Everyone else, but away from that fire, it's winter and it's freaking cold. And so as I started to, like, as the energy, as spirit began to move me, showing me the scenery and showing me so much more, I'm like, oh, here's all the other truths. So there's all of these other truths that are being revealed to us, that are showing itself to us for us to be able to see, so that we don't get trapped in the comfort stories. We don't get trapped in the tradition stories. We don't get trapped into the kumbaya stories. Like, we don't get trapped into the systems, like going back to the way things once were. So that could be in a relationship. That could be in anything. Oh, but it was so easy. It was so fun. It's like, that is the temptation that takes us all the way back to zero. That's not going to lead you to the happiness, to the joy, to the path. You have to remember why you moved forward, why you did the things you did, why you projected the energy or the dream or the thought or the manifestations that you've been trying to manifest for the forward. It's because temptation is here, and it is testing, and it's challenging, and it's trying to get you back to zero without getting through the whole journey, but to kind of discount everything and go back. It's like someone trying to say, oh, but I loved you so much. Remember the good times we had? And then it's something we do, right? We quickly forget all the shit that wasn't working. You so easily to forget all the things that was really truly happening there. It's easy to tap in to those memories that create the comfort, that create the feeling. And on a world scale, we are existing in that. On a world scale, it's easy to get lost in that. And so we have, like, it's like a little Trojan horse energy. And that Trojan horse energy is communicating that way to us. And so it's like that path to hell, right? So it's like, we can take that, we can walk back into our personal hell stories and try to decorate it to create heaven, but it still won't be heaven. It will not be our heaven on earth. It will be hell looking like heaven on earth. So do we want hell looking like heaven on earth, or do we want to create our heaven on earth story? Do we want to live our happiest? Do we want to feel rewarded? Do we want to feel the sense of satisfaction? Do you want to feel a sense of knowing that you made a lot of sacrifice and a lot of tough choices and a lot of tough decisions to get moving forward, to get to somewhere, to then quickly just throw it all away? So we got to remember that sometimes what we're doing is throwing things away that we may have worked hard for, and that includes relationships. That's where, like, an ex can return, somebody from the past can return, an old job opportunity may come back up, and it's the temptation. Just imagine, it is like, there's the fire, there's the hot chocolate, but you're on this path over here. You may be bivering, you may be chilly, you may be cold, you may be feeling like you're walking it alone, you may feel like it's a never-ending story, but you have to remember your why and where you are going and why you are walking that path. And it's all kinds of evidence that just says, it's, just quit, just go back, just return, just do. There's all kinds of evidence to prove that this temptation, that this imitation, that this could be right. Because we can access whatever we want to access, right? But if we were to look beyond our limitations and move beyond the limitations and look at, well, This would be easier. This would be the easiest way. This would be the easiest path. This would be the easiest direction. This would be easy. But is it rewarding? Is it truly creating my heaven on earth? So this is the analogy for this week. Am I so busy trying to decorate my personal hell stories as heaven, right? Trying to do like putting lipstick on an old barn. It'll still be an old barn. It's still going to be an old story. It's still going to be an old life. It's going to return you to something. So there's a lot of temptation being thrown at us this week for some of us, right? For some people, not everyone. This might not even resonate. Or do I really just want to hold on to that knowing, that dream of I don't have, if it's new to me, it's mine to build. If it's new to me, I can work with this. If it's new to me, I'm going to have to get to know it. But I also want that newest version of me, this newest sense of self. I want that sense of satisfaction. I want that sense of knowing that I can still get hot chocolate in a fire over here in heaven. But I don't have to sell myself short to get it. I don't have to sign an agreement. I don't have to take on another soul contract that I just don't want to battle no more. I don't have to sell my soul to get it. I don't have to put up with bullshit. I don't have to take the same shit. I don't have to go back into the systems to get it. I don't have to go back to that world to have it. I can have it with a new sense of vitality, a new sense of bliss, a new sense of joy, a new sense of enthusiasm, optimism, excitement, but also a little bit afraid. And I can be a little bit afraid. I can live in the unknown. So there is this tempting energy, and it is pushing us this week. We want to keep trying to turn heaven into hell, or do we just want to move into heaven on earth and allow ourselves to create more of a beautiful heaven on earth experience in our own lives? This is going to be a follow through into December. This will continue into the December conversation, but welcome to the end of November, and we are that much closer into moving into a whole new year. And if you want to know more about the energy forecast for each zodiac sign, you have the opportunity to go to mteacademy.ca, and the link is down below. And you can register and sign up to join myself and Lisa Richard as we collaborate as the two faces of More Than Existing Academy. And we're collaborating and bringing our gifts and our wisdom and our talents and everything all together for an online, live, interactive conversation where we will share everything that we are seeing, feeling, sensing, along with the human design and the gates and the gene keys and all the fun stuff, and a little bit of, of astrology, archetypal work, channeling. I will be channeling this information through as well for what is coming, what is in the stars for 2025. So you can join us on December the 15th. It is 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. To sign up, to register, you can go directly to the website and get your tickets today so that you can join us and be a part of this. You never know what the stars hold. But once you start to know a little bit more about yourself, you'll know how to show up in that experience, and you'll be able to recognize a little easier that what is happening is just energy. It is not personal, that I'm feeling the energy. I'm connecting to the energy. And so knowing how to exist with yourself, your mind, your ego, your shadow, all the aspects of the self and your heart and your spirit to be able to travel through all of this energy of 2025. So that is available now to purchase, to save your seat, to be a part of that. And so go to the Academy down below, and also check out all of my new products. So I have a new deck of cards out that are an affirmation deck of cards. They are, you want to know a secret to a life of more than existing. And those cards are now available also on the website. If you're in Canada or the US, when you are ordering, you are pre-ordering. We have a postal strike here in Canada, And so we are waiting for that to be resolved so that we can get back to sending things out. So, but there is limited supply. So I do suggest getting on the list, getting your order in, and also the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, plus my 3 books, More Than Existing, My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection, and Wine and Chips. And so every link is available on the website, which is CorrieThorne-Cameron.com. Go there if you want to see all that is coming up. And also there is a new More Than Existing level 1 beginning in January, and I'm so looking forward to that as well. So there is an early bird pricing. You can get $500 off if you register early before the course starts in January. So have a beautiful week, and we will be talking soon. Much love. Bye-bye.